Welcome once again in the class of the course Design of Steel Structure. So we are learning the design of beams. So far we have seen the what is beam, types of beam, then lateral instability, then shear stress, then bearing stress, web buckling. So we'll move further. I am Mr. S. Ogule, Assistant Professor, Civil Engineering Department. Now the web crippling. The web of the rolled steel section are subjected to a large amount of the stresses just below the concentrated load and above the reaction from the support. The stress concentration occur at the junction of the web and the flange. As a result, a large bearing stresses are developed below the concentrated load. The web near the portion of the stress concentration tends to fold over the flange. This type of local buckling phenomenon is known as the web crippling. So as you can see, what happens, suppose this is the I section. So somewhere over here at the junction of this web and flange, it tends to cripple. So it is something like this. This is crimping or the crippling, and at the support it is something like this. So in case of buckling, the whole section tends to rather bend or sometimes move like this, and in this case only this at this junction the failure will occur. Now, to keep the bearing stresses within the permissible limit, the concentrated load should be transferred to the flanges from the flanges to the web on sufficiently large bearing area. The root of the fillet is the most critical location for the failure because of the resisting area has the smallest value over here. So here that smallest value is here. So the bearing stress, that is sigma p, equals to p divided by the bearing area. P is the nothing but the force, where the bearing area is b1 into t. So here you can see how to calculate this b1. So this is, we have dispersed this load at 30 degree. So the assuming the angle of dispersion of load to be 30 degrees. So this way this has been dispersed, and you will find this b1 by this equation. That is, b is the depth of width of this bearing plate, plus h2 is this distance, that is to the root of this fillet, and by using some trigonometry we will get this particular thing. That is, this is b and this thing is this value, that is 2 h2 into under root 3. Same way, uh, there are two, because of this we have the two sides over here. In case of the support, it is something like this. We are adding it only once, that is because of this only at one end we have to disperse the load. So as you can see, bearing length b1 equals to b plus 2h2 into under root 3, that is under concentrated load, and b1 is equals to b plus h2 into under root 3 under reactions at the support. So sigma p is the bearing stress, p is the concentrated load or the reaction from the support, then t is the thickness of the web, and h2 is the depth of the root of the fillet in mm. So this way the bearing load and has been, the bearing stress has been calculated. In some cases, the required bearing let b1 may be very small and negligible, but bearing of minimum 100 mm length should be provided. The value of calculated stress should be less than the permissible bearing stress. The permissible bearing stress, which we have seen earlier here, that is this. So it should be less than this value. So this is about the web crippling. Now the design of laterally supported beam. The design of lateral supported beam consists of selecting the section on the basis of the modulus of section and checking for the shear, as I told you earlier, shear, deflection and the crippling. So for three case we have to check shear, deflection, and crippling. So the design is done in following manner. So what are the steps that has been shown over here? First, ascertain the loads that can be expected on the beam. Then select the beam for the given situation and calculate the maximum moment and the maximum shear force for it. Determine the trial modulus of section for the beam by using this formula, that is this Z equals to m divided by sigma bc into t. Z has been given, Z we have to find out, the m we have calculated over here, that is maximum moment, and sigma bc and t according to code that has been given reaches 0.66 fy, which is allowable bending stress in compression or tension. From this is handbook number 1 or steel table, select the suitable section which has the modulus of section equal to or more than calculated value of the section. You have to prefer ISLB or ISMB. These sections has been preferred. The beam is checked for shear. The average shear stress is P divided by dt, that is force divided by dt, in the beam should not exceed zero point 0.4 Fy, where P is the load or reaction and T is the wave thickness. Then the beam is checked for the deflection. So we know the formula, that is it should not exceed span divided by 325. So the calculation for the deflection, the formula we have 5 divided by 384 W raised to 4 divided by AI for UDL on simply supported beam, and 1 by 48 into WL cube divided by EI for concentrated load or on simply supported beam, where W is the UDL in Newton per mm. Then again the value of W is concentrated load, L is the effective span of beam center center of the supports in mm, and I is the moment of inertia about x axis, that is in mm raised to 4. The beam is checked for crippling. The bearing stress calculated should not exceed the value of 0.75 Fy, as I told you earlier. So we have this formula for concentrated load and this formula for the reaction. You can see the difference of this thing, that is 2 over here, and it is taken as single value as per the dispersion of the loads. I'll take the problem, that is a simply supported steel joist with 4-meter effective span carries a UDL of 10 kilonewton per meter. Its span including self weight. The beam is supported laterally throughout. It is the laterally supported case. Select a suitable section. Fy is given, that is 250 Newton per mm square, and check it for safety. So the maximum bending moment, that is WL square by 8, which is the case for the this simply supported beam carrying the UDL. That is something like this. It is carrying, so this is UDL. It has a span of this L, and this is W per meter. So the formula we have is WL square by 8 for this case, and shear is WL by 2. So the load we have is 10 kilonewton per meter, so that is including sulfate. So 10 into 10 raised to 3, that is Newton, and into this 4 square, that is the span, this 4-meter span, into 10 raised to 3, and we are converting into the mm, so divided by 8. So what we have is 20 into 10 raised to 6 Newton mm, and the maximum shear force is W into L by 2, that is 10 into 10 raised to 3, that is Newton, converting into Newton, and into 4 divided by 2, so that becomes 20 into 10 raised to 3 newtons. So the modulus of section requires, that is Z equals to m divided by sigma bc comma t. So we have the value, that is 20 into 10 raised to 6 divided by 165, that is 0.66 Fy. 0.66 Fy, that is into this 250. So that becomes 165. So what we will get is this value. So we'll choose the section that is this ISLB 200, which is having this property, that is the z-axis is 169.7, which is more than the value we want. So the properties of this section are like this. You can see the properties, that is, these are the different properties of the section. So let me move into the problem. So we'll try this section, that is ISLB 200. So the depth is 200, the thickness of the flange, that is 7.3, and web is 5.4. So Ix has been given and Zx has been given also, and H2 is 17.15. Let me move below. This is the H2, which is shown over here. So this is the section we are going to choose. Now the check for the shear. We got the section, now check for the shear. So the tau VA, that is 20, we got the value of shear stress 20 into 10 to 3. So 20 into 10 to 3 divided by the depth is 200 into thickness of wave is 5.4. So that becomes 18.51. So we have to check for this 0.4 Fy, which is 100. So it is well below this 100 value. So again the section is safe. Now to check for the deflection. So the allowable deflection is span divided by 325. So that becomes 12.30. So we have the UDL over here. So we are using this formula 5 divided by 384 into WL raised to 4 divided by EI. So 5 divided by 384 into W is 10 into 10 raised to 3 into 4 into 10 raised to 3 raised to 4 divided by E is 2 into 10 raised to 3 into 1696.6 into 10 raised to 4, that is I, which we have here. So that becomes 9.82. So which is again less than this 12.3, hence it is okay. Now the check for crippling. So assume the bearing length of 100 mm as we have seen in the theory. So the sigma p, that is reaction divided by uh, b plus h2 into under root 3 3 d into t. So 20 into 10 raised to 3 divided by b is the 100, 17.15 is the h2 under root 3 into t is the thickness of this wave, that is 5.4. So we'll get the value of 28.55, which is again less than 0.75 of y, that is 187.5. Hence design is okay. Note one more thing, while designing this kind of problem you have to take care of the while converting the quantities, that is we are converting here the kilonewton per meter to the newton per mm. So those things we have to take care of by multiplying this thing of this, how to multiply. So here you can see we have multiplied only by 10 raised to 3 over here and by 10 raised to 6 over here. So those things we need to take care of here also, and in some cases here also. So this is the wrong thing what we have done earlier, so that corrected over here. So actually by using by all these conversions we have to take care while converting the things, because in steel table also all the quantities has been given in the terms of centimeters. sometimes it has been given in mm, and here so many quantities in problem that is given in the kilonewton and the meters. So that again we need to convert, because the permissible stresses value we have in newton per mm square. So all these things we have to convert it properly, and then we have to solve the problem. So while solving the problem, please take care of all these things. This is all for today's lecture. So the references again, that is Design of Steel Structure by S.K. Duggal, and two more references I would like to add that I forgotten in earlier lecture also. That is IS 800 1984 we have to mention over here, and the steel table what we have used, that we need to I need to mention over here. So thank you for today's lecture.